movie notes on the Birdcage 1996 film, 6 June 2024 viewing. I am Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. Today is Thursday, 6 June 2024, and I watched this today, and these are my notes for this viewing. I'm watching this movie in honor of Pride Month. I am of the sexual orientation asexual. And this movie is, why is this in honor of Pride Month? This is, per my description, is a fiction film about a homosexual couple figuring out how to get along with the heterosexual parents of the woman their son wants to marry. So essentially, this homosexual couple has a son, and their son wants to marry the daughter of a heterosexual couple. And so it's about figuring out how to get along. And so I thought, I was like thinking through and was like, I've watched this movie a lot, and it's been on a few of my movie watch lists. I was like, what's kind of a theme here, and how does it potentially relate to my life, or is analogous to a situation in my life? So I was like, how to break news to one's family when it is not news. So essentially, how do they tell this very conservative United States of America Republican family that's very staunch in their ways that they're homosexual? This other couple, right? So, which is not new. They've been homosexual for years, decades. But to these other people, it's breaking news to them, all right? But it's not new. So, it's not something new that came about, it's something that's already existed. So how does one break the news when it's not new? So I was like, So, such as the gay couple sharing, the homosexual couple sharing they are gay to the future in-laws. For context, in the theme of Pride Month, I shared I was asexual to my family members a number of years ago. So, thinking about that, I was like, that one wasn't quite the same as like a dynamic. So I was like thinking of this, and I've already done that and was just kind of telling them, and was like, and it went fine with everybody. No ruffled feathers. And so I was like, maybe something analogous is sharing any world records I may have set in middle distance running in January 2024. So let's say I set a world record in the 1,500 meters run outdoor and the 1 mile run indoor women's, because I'm a she, her, hers, in January 2024. How would I say I'm moving with my boyfriend Josh Kerr, and some of the stuff that has been published that I cannot see but was published at the time, be it print or online, he shares with me. How would I go about sharing that with my family? All right, something that's already happened, already existed. So then how do I work it in? Like, well, this isn't really new for us, so bringing it up might seem kind of awkward, but it's still like something to, but it's not awkward because it's who I am and what I've done and that kind of stuff. It's an analogy. And so I was like, well, it'd be really cool to take a physical something. So if it was like printed in a Hungarian newspaper or something like that, just take a copy of the Hungarian newspaper. I mean, like, that would be really cool. There's just telling them about it. I could make a YouTube video and put coverage there. I could do a YouTube video. I could update my LinkedIn profile with like an awards or honor and link to articles, and then the next time we see them, fill them in person. And if we've already done some of the online stuff, maybe they've seen it and they're like, oh, I saw your YouTube video, or I saw your LinkedIn profile, or maybe they didn't see any of it, right? But it gives them a chance to, if they do follow my stuff, to see it there. And then we tell them in person at the next available opportunity, or we wait and we do it in person, be it with or without something physical to show. So, but it was like physical, which is what this is about, right? It's not hiding from each other behind the mask of online presence, I guess. They're physically interacting with these two parental couples, right? They're interacting with each other in physical life. So there we go. It's like, I think that physical in person would be a great one. Also, something that's brought up, or I thought the physical safety, the movie does a good job addressing this. So there's a lot of like scandal and turmoil in the politician's life and stuff, and their physical safety is, well, their physical, the crime is what, stalking. They're physically intruded upon when they're visiting this other family. And so I thought the movie does a good job of bringing it up in a less triggering way, is maybe a way of phrasing it. So thinking through in relevance for this YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi, if something were to make it unsafe and or harm may come to me if I were to continue posting videos, then I may stop and address the problems in my physical life before returning to posting. So I was like thinking through something I said, I think it was earlier today, about like there can be a variety of reasons why I might stop posting, right? Like that are like real problems. And I was like, well, if I think harm may come to my life because of my posting, like, well, then maybe address whatever problem and then continue right in a way it won't bring me harm. If I'm concerned it may bring me harm. And that may be however long or short that may be to actually address that. So I was like, such as people trashing my videos if I do not put a video out on something they want me to talk about. I would prefer not death by peer pressure. So essentially, people are like, why are a lot of people stigmatized against not wanting things? It's not wanting things as the problem. It's wanting things and imposing want on other people at their expense. Right? That's called peer pressure. Especially if it's, I want so-and-so to do blank, and so-and-so doesn't want to do blank, that's called peer pressure. Especially if a bunch of people think the same way, then the peer pressure is very extreme. That's right where eating disorders come from. That's where a form of bullying and discrimination and harassment. It creates a very, very toxic environment. So people who can't control themselves and they're like, I just want what I want. I'm greedy, 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 greedy. Yeah, that's peer pressure, right? It's bad. It's toxic when imposed on other people, especially without their consent. And sometimes that's actual crime, like assault or sexual assault. All right, the physical want. And so I would prefer to not die by peer pressure. And so thinking about that is like if there's a group of people, and especially if that came through physically, randomly, like heard of like a plan to like people to just attack my videos or something like that, I'd just be like, if I keep putting stuff out and it does not talk about X, Y, or Z, right, then I might take and be like, well, then I'm just not going to put stuff out and I'm going to work through things off the channel as best I can, and then, contact whoever if I need to when start posting again, if start posting again, and then like, however long or short that may be. And it might not be a linear path either. I'd be like, okay, just take a break for a little bit and then think about returning, and it gets worse, and I'm like, okay, where do I go? How do I start that return journey? Right? The journey can be a journey. It can be short or long or somewhere in between, something like that. So yeah, but it was like thinking of physical safety, right? Putting videos out, it's great and everything, but if there's escalation in my real life and that may threaten my life, and like my mission or vision statement was living my life as it happens, sharing it when I can. I want to be able to share it when I can. I want to be living it as it happens, right? So if something puts into jeopardy my ability to live my life as it happens, or into jeopardy my ability to share it, right, then I probably should step away. Speaking from experience, if things start to go towards, a way that causes me concern, just step away. Peer pressure and being out with friends and stuff is where I was sexually assaulted multiple times and stuff, and so it's just like, friends are nice, but when they make suggestions and those suggestions result in harm to me, then maybe next time I don't go out with my friends. Right? It hasn't happened since. There's power to being able to say no to friends, even if they say they're in your best interest and it results in harm. No. I understand you might have good intent, however, from experience, that did not end up that way for me, personally. So there we go. And that came to mind with the physical safety of all this. And especially not being heterosexual in this day and age, there's still dangers in this world. So my movie notes on the Birdcage 1996 film, 6 June 2024 viewing.